What do you need to grow, and what area do you need to grow in of your executive function? Is it task initiation? And what are you already really, really good at? Are you already good at persistence? Do you need to grow in impulse control and inhibition and really just stopping yourself from doing things that you know you shouldn't do when you should be doing that one thing at a time? So think about that today. Think about how you can really order your executive function skills. And then the next thing I want you to look at is the activity O3. And so O3 is really research based, in which it says that the most effective strategy that people who have ADHD and know how to use their executive function skills really well is called goal reminders. And I know it sounds so simple, but they actually use reminders to push through their goals as they are trying to work on a task. And so I wanted you to use O3, excuse me, because O3 allows you to not just remind yourself of your goal, but to break your goal into smaller tasks, smaller bite-sized goals, so that then you can keep reminding yourself of those smaller goals that will get you to the higher goal or the bigger goal or the long-term goal, whatever you want to name that goal, when it is time to actually complete it. So I use O3 when I was getting through the work that I was doing all week. I had a big goal, and what I would do is, instead of making small goals like this is my big goal and these are my smaller goals, I made myself some time goals. So I would just set my timer and make myself go for an hour. And every time I got through those hours, it would allow me to hit different goals every single time. So I broke my big long-term time goal of knowing that I had something due at this day, which was April 14th, into smaller time goals to get myself closer and closer to hitting that April 14th goal. And guess what? I did hit that April 14th goal. Guess what else? We have a guest facilitator today. She's very, very, very much an expert in her field. So make sure you tap in with her during the show, follow her after the show, look at her website and book her, because she is also a coach. I look up to her. So we are just honored to have her today. I'm gonna go ahead and bring her on. I believe she has requested to go live, so we're gonna accept that request. And say good morning to Gina, guys.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here today.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to have you. And I think that, you getting up at 6:30 in the morning shows a lot of commitment to your work. And I just want to tell you, thank you. We don't take you for granted at all. And how are you feeling? Are you feeling as tired as I am?
I'm feeling a little tired this morning. And like you said, I do really believe, my own morning practice makes such a difference to me. Set aside time for really intentional start to the week and intentional start to the day. So I'm really grateful that you host these sessions, and it's just such a pleasure to be able to join you for one.
Do you already have productivity strategies that you use or that you recommend to your clients?
I was going through your Grow Guide, and a lot of things that you practice and share really resonate with me too. And for sure today, of breaking goals into bite-sized goals is important to me. And one thing that I really focus on lately, while absolutely, creating, your actual goals, breaking all that down is important. And what I find for me is also just as important is incorporating time for meditation, rest, breaks, in between all the work that I'm doing. So whether I set, okay, for an hour, I'm gonna be productive and focus on this task, and then I'm gonna go take a 15-minute walk, and then I'm gonna come back and do this task, and then I'm gonna go, make sure my waters are filled and do all these things that help my own energy and, brain power and energy. So those things that are not the productive, work tasks, for me is a really strong intention, because that's what gives me so much more fuel to keep going, and creativity and just all kinds of things.
Yes, intention is so important. We can only fuel ourselves with intention, I think. And I want to know, do you think that those strategies can connect back to
my gosh
function?
Yes, I think they're everything. And myself when I don't take those breaks, when I don't incorporate, I don't, I can't think as clearly, with as much focus. So for sure, I think they have such a big impact on our brain's cognitive abilities to operate and navigate whatever we're working on.
Do you recommend that the breaks are sporadic, or should they be planned?
Well, I find that if they're not planned, that for me, myself, and I've seen from my clients too, it's so easy to just like, okay, an hour goes by, 2 hours goes, 2 hours go by, 3 hours go by, and like the whole day has passed and I haven't taken those breaks. So I do believe it's important to schedule them in your schedule. And even if you're like in the middle of something, oftentimes I'll find myself kind of fading and I know it's like time for a break, but being able to be like, okay, 3 o'clock, I need a break, like no matter what, go outside, take that walk, and knowing I'll be 10 times more productive when I come back inside after doing what I said I was going to do, and put that on the calendar.
Yes, me too. I used to never be able to work after 2 or 3 o'clock. I would literally shut down. And now I actually take my break around 2 or 3, and then when I come back, I actually can get back to work and get a lot done. And I used to never be able to do that. And I also think for me, planning breaks, but also sporadic breaks help, like taking sporadic naps. But I know that a lot of us work a 9 to 5, so taking a sporadic nap is not always something that you can do. I really wish that our jobs, though, would put like a break room with couches that people could just be allowed to nap on without being shamed or anything like that. Like, I feel like naps should be normalized in workspaces a lot more, because those sporadic naps for me have gotten me through this semester. And I was working on work that I've been trying to get through for 2 years, and I finally found my groove is in waking up early, starting my work, taking a nap when I feel like I'm tired, getting back up, starting again, taking a break to go outside when I need that break around 2 or 3, coming back, eating, I might take another 20 to 40 minute nap, start again. So I think in ADHD frameworks, this is called the bear method, like that, like mini hibernating during your work. But yeah, thank you for giving us permission to plan our breaks, take those sporadic breaks. And so outside of like taking those walks that you talked about, do you have methods for meditating that you use?
Yeah, I use a practice of meditation called transcendental meditation mostly. It's twice a day, morning and evening, 20 minutes, mantra-based, and it's something that really helps me. And another thing I've been using a lot is Yoga Nidra. So for anyone who's not familiar with Yoga Nidra, it's like a guided meditation practice, and it's around like yogic sleep. So the intention is actually not for you to fall asleep after doing it. The intention is to go into this meditative state, and then after, could be 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, you wake up and it's as if you had slept for 2 hours. So especially on days that I don't sleep well and I have a really busy day and I have a lot of things like in my schedule and I want to be as fresh as possible for them, I might take that 45-minute Yoga Nidra nap or break or whatever in the morning, in the middle of the day, and that can oftentimes give me the extra juice I need to keep going when I don't have time, for a longer break. So Yoga Nidra, it's available in so many places, YouTube, Right Timer. If anyone has never tried it, I highly recommend it. I found it a really powerful practice to give myself that reboot.
Thank you for sharing those gems. YouTube and Insight Timer, she said, everybody. So my last question to you before we get started, I know that I have my environment set up, and I know you do Feng Shui coaching. So what is the importance of the Feng Shui when it comes to production?
So much. So we, as human beings, react to our environments, and we react to light, we react to color. So that's one reason, I take walk breaks all the time, but if you can orient yourself and your desk towards a window where you have fresh air, light, that's going to also boost your ability to focus, be creative, and to surround yourself in an environment that has color. Like I see right now, you've got plants, you've got all your books. I don't know what the rest of your office looks like, but human beings, we thrive in nature, and nature has a variety of colors, it has a variety of textures. So when we surround ourselves with those elements, it fuels our ability to think creatively, to focus more. Like, all of this is science-based as well as energetically. I know I can feel it, so often everyone else can intuitively feel these things already. But yeah, you can make tweaks in your environment that can absolutely massively increase your ability to be productive, creative, focused, all kinds of things. It's so powerful.
I love that. So if you're at home listening and you want support with your environment and coaching from Gina, please guys, go ahead and click that follow button. Go ahead and book a session with her. This is what she does. This is what she does. And if you heard something she said and you want extra guidance, I promise you, if you DM her, she will definitely hold your hand through that and maybe even recommend you to some of her colleagues, because again, this is what she does. This is her world. This is her work. And I really, 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 again, want to tell you how much we honor you, we respect you, and we're just grateful that you were able to join us today. We hope to see you again for other sessions in the future.
So great. Yes. So happy to be here. Connected. Any questions about any of this stuff? I love talking about it. So for sure, would love to connect with people.
Okay, guys. So we're going to do 25-minute work session in silence. Gina and I are going to stay on live together and practice our strategies. So you may see her. Do you want to start us off with a meditation session before we get silent, or do you want to do it?
Sure, I can start with a little meditation. So yeah, so sorry, say that.
So after we meditate, we're gonna, perfect. We'll have you meditate with us, and then everybody, we're gonna go on mute and work for 25 minutes. And then after that 25 minutes, we'll have a recap where you can ask her anything you want to ask her. And let us know how your productivity session went. So I'm going to go ahead and let you lead us in meditation, and then we'll all go on mute for 25 minutes.
So go ahead and close your eyes, get comfortable. If you're listening to this, you can roll your shoulders out or your neck, anything that you need to bring your attention and awareness to your body, to this moment. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Open mouth, exhale. Another deep inhale. Open mouth, exhale. One more time. Let your breath come to an easy, natural breath. Noticing where your chest or belly rises and falls with each inhale and exhale. Then bring your attention and awareness to your hearing. If you were sending out a radar beam, notice what is the furthest away sound you can hear. Now bring your awareness closer and notice what is the closest sound you can hear. The sound of your own breath. And place both hands over your heart. Feeling your heart beating under your chest. This incredibly wise, powerful part of you that is always there for you. Tune into your heart and ask if there is an intention you want to set for your own practice today. Energy that you want to call in, or a feeling. Notice whatever comes up. It can just be a color or a sensation. Feel yourself energy. Let it wash over your body. hands fall gently to your lap. Bring your attention and awareness back to your body, back to this moment. And when you're ready, begin to blink your eyes open, taking in your surroundings, maybe noticing something in your room that you hadn't noticed before, and then coming back to this present moment. Begin to stretch, you can stretch, a sip of water, top water. How was that?
Namaste. That was so helpful. Who knew I needed that in that moment? I know everybody else did too. Thank you for starting us out like that. That was amazing. Game changer for sure. I love your practice. Like, I'm so grateful for you. Okay, y'all, so I know y'all grateful. Y'all ready? So if you, some of us might even want to keep going with meditating for this morning, or even writing a gratitude list before you write a to-do list. I love that as a slogan, gratitude before what you need to do. But I'm gonna start, I think that's what I'm gonna start with, my gratitude list, then get into my to-do list personally, just to start my week off really in a productive way. I just got home at 4 a.m., so I'm tired, and I did not do my weekly to-do list this week, so I can't do anything before that's done. But, and then maybe I'll get some reading done this morning, I don't know, but I don't know what y'all have on your list. I'm just giving you the ideas of where I'm going. I'm gonna go ahead and put myself on mute, Gina, so I don't ramble for the rest of this 25 minutes. And so everybody in the audience, in the community, if you're new, we now are going to work for 25 minutes. And during that 25 minutes, we do not speak. We try to stay as focused as we can. That doesn't mean you can't take a break during the 25 minutes to breathe or stretch or get up and go get something and come back. It's not a race to see how much you can work. It's how productive you can be in your own needs of productivity, monitoring yourself, getting back to that executive function. So I'm gonna go ahead and put myself on mute. I'm gonna set the timer for 25 minutes, and after that 25 minutes is up, everybody, we're gonna come back together to have a quick closing Q&A. Happy productivity, guys.
right here.
wait for you to open your eyes. So that's good. Your timer might have went off just now.
Hello.
That was so good. I had such a great session, and when I felt like I was finished with my work, there was still like 3.5 minutes on my timer, and I looked and I saw that you were meditating, so I was like, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do too. So thank you again for being here and placing that strategy back into the forefront of what we do. I'm so grateful. I was able to really strengthen my organizational routines this week when it comes to executive function. So I used to use a planner, like every day I lived by my planner, my written planner. This year I moved to digital, and I've been doing really well, but last week I didn't plan my week out. I just did everything I needed to do because I knew what I needed to do, and I just got it done. So it felt good this week to see things from the week before that were on the list that I actually got done last week. Felt so good to like take things away, move them around. I love the digital planner for that because you can move stuff around. And yeah, I was able to do a gratitude list, which felt really good. And again, thank you, because I felt really grounded in being able to meditate, then do gratitude, then set up my organizational routine for the week, and then meditate again. So thank you so much. How was the session for you, outside of being annoyingly kicked off? But you still seem like your zen was intact.
And you inspired me, talking about gratitude. I'm going to gratitude practice, and I have another morning practice called Morning from a book called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and it's just 3 stream of consciousness pages to kind of like clear out whatever's on your mind, get it out onto a piece of paper so that you can clear, empty slate before you go into anything else. So I did that in combination with my gratitude practice, and that energy of gratitude just changed everything. So it was just such a good reminder that you brought in, and meditation. And for me, like I said, it's these gratitude practice and meditation practice that can so often be put on the back burner. It's great to be able to use this time to get with you to do that. And for me, those practices, like I said, are just fuel everything and make me feel so much better.
Yeah, I agree. I do feel really good this morning. And I have a migraine. I think I ate some dairy somewhere along the way this weekend, and dairy gives me really bad headaches. So even with the breathing, it was a natural remedy to what's going on internally that allowed me to still be functional today instead of just trying to run back and canceling everything because I don't feel well. What about your routine this morning or any other morning can be a struggle at times? Do you have any times where you feel like you have areas you need to grow?
Sure. I mean, I think sometimes, waking up is not always the easiest thing, and I sometimes will set my alarm for, different times, and throughout different periods of my life have been better at it than others. And one thing that has been helping me get up earlier recently is working out first. So before I was struggling with like getting up when my alarm went off and starting to get my brain kind of like functioning early. I read and heard if you start with movement, that can just get the blood moving. So start an exercise or just moving my body in some way has been really helpful when I've struggled to get up. Because when I do get up and when I'm intentional in the morning, it makes so much of a difference versus when I don't. And if I snooze and kind of lay in bed longer than I had planned, I can see the impact that has on my day too. So movement is important.
I'm not an anxiety expert, but I have an anxiety diagnosis. So I'm always interested in remedies, and one thing I read is if you do a really hard exercise before you start your day, it'll help you push through everything else you need to do that day. So I totally agree with what you're saying, and a lot of times when I'm in the gym in the morning, I have a set routine that I love. But when I heard that, it was in an Instagram reel. It was a voiceover of an Instagram reel. I went ahead and tried it, and it really did work. Now I'm pushing myself beyond my own limits just for myself, and it does help me to push forward. I'm gonna check the chat to see if anybody in our community has any questions. Hey, Melissa's here, Vibrant Vixen. It's been a while since I've seen you. Shout out, good morning. To those of you who have been here for a while, today isn't, it's actually April 15th, makes 2 years since we started doing these live productivity sessions on Instagram and YouTube. So shout out to Alicia, shout out to Ciara, Melissa, who are also known as I'm Not Alicia, Transparency, and Vibrant Vixen, because they are day ones from April 2021. It's good to see you in here this morning, ladies.
You just shared that it's been 2 years since you've been hosting this, and I'm curious what helped you keep that consistency throughout the whole time and keep it going.
Those girls that I just named, I call them the Grow Girls. So they were showing up and I knew that I had to show up for them. There were times when it was only them. Like there were times when it was just me and one of them, but I could not show up for them. So social accountability was really the key. And at the time we were going live on a separate page, I really wanted an accurate measure of this. I didn't want to use my Valencia personal page because it's always, I knew that I would always have people in the live because of the audience that I already have. So we started a separate page for this, and it let me see the actual community that was growing. And like Vibrant Vixen said, we used to go 2 and 3 times a day on live every day. And those girls showed up every day. We would do 5 a.m. every day from Monday through Friday for the whole year until I just finally burned out. And I was like, okay guys, we need a summer break. But yeah, they kept me going because I knew that if I had just one person that needed me to be there, then I was gonna show up for them. And we all got through so much, like their success stories. One of them got her master's degree with us. Another one is now our director. You know, Alicia, you met Alicia. She became our director of engagement because she got through her own stuff, but then she was just so invested in the program, and she has, I wouldn't call her a quintessential type A, but the way she works is, I feel like she was able to dial back into her type A work and organizational skills to be able to manage being our director of engagement as well as being in a really great position in NASA. Learning new things, taking things from the old thought processes that I had, unlearning that, putting new things in, quitting my job, starting a whole new dissertation. So there was a lot of growth in between that for me personally, but as a business, I really just relied on knowing that those girls were showing up and I had to show up for them, even if it was only one. And I always tell people this, when you are starting a community, you may think you have to have this big group, but that is not the case. Start where you are and gather data, true data. And my Grow Girls, they are really the reason that we now are able to have the organizational flow that we have. We know that Mondays are the best days now. We know once a week is all we need instead of having it every day. And they never miss a week, even today. They always are here. So shout out to those girls and celebrating all of us for our 2 years. And my husband said there is something in here. I am proud of all of y'all. I love the hearts. What are some guides to use for your meditation? So I'll let you answer that.
Sure. So I mentioned before, there's an app called Insight and Omvana. Those are 2 of my favorite apps for meditations. Insight Timer is free. Omvana, you can get some free meditations on, and YouTube, I mean, is an endless of free resources. So you can really, what style is, whatever you prefer, whatever you like, you can search for insight. You can search stress, you can search anxiety, you can search sleep, you can search whatever topic or whatever feeling you have inspiration in, and you can get a whole list of meditations. You can filter them by time, whether you have 1 minute or an hour. There's a whole range of them, so I highly recommend that app. That was a place that I really started diving deeper into meditation, and such a wealth of resources.
Yeah, I used to use the Calm app when I started meditating too. So you can use that as well, guys. And I like the Calm app at the time because I'm pretty sure Insight Timer does it too, but they give you like those they give you a calendar, like they help you to keep up with how much you're doing it. So I was in love with seeing my progress. Like, okay, I did a week, I did 2 weeks, and I did 365 days once. So that was like once I had the 365, I really didn't need the app anymore because it became ingrained in me to be able to do it. But it taught me how to do it, really taught me how. And I love that fact that we have apps for everything now. Like we taught ourselves yoga before we started going back to the gym during COVID. We had the Yoga Daily app too. That was so helpful. And I like that because I didn't like being in the gym. I don't know if I was insecure, tired, or just unmotivated, but I didn't want to be in the gym. And now I love the gym. But at that time, it felt good to just be able to do it by myself with my app, and I have that success and feeling like, and I saw my gains on my own. So you can do the same thing, guys, with Insight Timer for sure.
Accountability is so important. I think on Insight Timer, like if you remember I'm on Insight Timer, we can be friends. So I can see like, oh, how often you meditated or whatever. I don't know if you can high five on that app, but just to be able to, if meditation is something that you want to start your own practice in, maybe see if a friend in your life also wants to do it. You guys can help keep each other accountable or cheer each other on. So it has a social feature to it too.
Yes, exactly. So we can all do that. Asia is in the room, one of my best friends. My sister Jasmine, my best friends. All my sisters are in here this morning. I'm so happy y'all are up and at it. Let's do this. So I'm gonna close from here. Did you have any closing statements that you want to leave us on, Gina? Any mantras that we should think about as we go through our week?
Well, it's not a mantra that's coming up to me right now. And one thing that is coming up for me, I've really been practice of like, there's this balance of planning and flow, right? And after we can do all the things, and there's also this element of surrender and not being so attached to desperate of whether the things we want to do or whatever. So if and when I feel myself in this kind of anxious state, you can use a technique of just clenching your body and then releasing and what surrender feels like in your body. So that's what's coming up for me right now. So if anyone listening throughout your week this week, if you ever feel that, a point of anxiety or stress or just desperation in anything, practice that clenching and releasing and see if you can add a little bit of surrender and ease to whatever you have going on.
I need that because I'll clench, but I don't release. So that, and if anybody was here this morning, I'm just going to repeat the one you did when we meditated. I loved when you said, try to hear the farthest sound from where you are and then hone in on the closest sound to where you are. Those were really helpful with guided meditation. I want you to, I don't know if you believe in manifesting or speaking things into existence, but I really want to see you do a collaboration with Insight Timer because we need some narrated meditations from you, Gina. I see that in your future, and I hope you go get that.
Because that's on my list of things, actually.
Yeah, so, you were really good.
Practice, it was all so much gratitude for manifestation and visualization. So I'll take this as a hint from
Yes, it's coming. Let us know when you get it because we will all download the app just for that. Yes. All right, have a good day. Thank you again for joining us. We hope to see you again soon. We love you, everybody in the community. Thank you for being up this morning with us. We hope you got some work done. If you just needed to like I did, set your day up, that was good too. Whatever you needed to do, the morning is for you. Have a great week and we'll see you soon.